Welcome back to another episode of Ready, Set, Read. Today, I want to talk to you about something that is very important, and it's something we will continue discussing throughout the whole year. But I want to just plant the seed today in this introductory series. First, I want to show you this stack of books. These are the books I read this summer. Nice, right? Let me let you in on a little secret. These are the books that I started reading this summer, but I didn't actually finish all of them. Let me tell you why. Sometimes we start reading books with the absolute best intention to finish them, but you get a few pages or maybe even a few chapters in and you realize, I'm just not really interested. Let me show you this book, for example. I started this summer. I've read books by this author before and I enjoyed them. And I got I wonder if I have the bookmark in it. I got about that far into it and I realized I'm just not in the mood for this type of book. And so I put it down and I picked up the next one. Putting down books is absolutely an okay thing to do. A lot of times as students, I know I heard this when I was a student, teachers will tell you that if you start a book, you need to put in the work, you need to keep going until you finish it. I'm here to tell you that you don't always have to do that. Reading should be enjoyable, reading should be pleasurable, and if you're working so hard to get through a book that you're just not interested in, reading is not going to be those things. So, if you start reading a book and you get, this was the one that I just couldn't get into. And my friend recommended it to me and she said, this book is going to change your life. It's so, so good. It's such a great story. And I read the first couple chapters and I was just like, not for me. And so I put it down because why would I sit and struggle when I had all these other books? This is one I read this summer and it blew my mind. It was so good. I actually put this one down so that I could pick this one up. And I had a much more enjoyable experience with this book. Another book I read this summer was this one. This was given to me by Mr. Winger's mom. He read it and she said, I really like this book. It was so good, such a good story, and I think you'd really like it, so she gave it to me. I started it, and I got about halfway through, and I was struggling. It is a really emotional book, and it made me feel a lot of feelings that I wasn't really feeling like feeling. Could I say feeling any more times right now? So I actually put this book down. Then a couple weeks went by, maybe a couple months, and I saw that one of my friends, Mrs. Preby, some of you might know her, she was reading this book. And I said, hey, how do you like that book? How's it going for you? And she said, you know what? I just started and I'm really liking it. And I said, I started that book and I put it down. But let's see, maybe if you're also reading it, I can read it and we can talk about it. And do you know what happened? I picked it back up. I continued, I got over this hump of this really emotional part, and I ended up reading the second half in 2 days. I couldn't put it down. It was one of the best books I've ever read. So I'm telling you that example because sometimes you might put down a book, put it in the bottom of your book bag and saying, this is not the right time for this book. And you might come back to it maybe in a few days, maybe in a few weeks, or maybe even in a few years. Abandoning books is okay. Sometimes you need to take a book and put it in the trash for a day, for a week, for a month, maybe forever. But sometimes you might come back to that book and enjoy it at a different time in your life. All of these things are okay, is what I'm saying. Basically, what I'm trying to say, because this unit is all about making your reading life the best it possibly can be, is don't struggle through books that you are not enjoying. Make your reading life great. Now, you're going to go off and read independently for a bit. 30 minutes. Maybe you're working towards like 35, 40 minutes today. And I want you to remember today and remember always, it is okay to abandon books. Like the books you read, read the books you like. Happy reading.